let's look at the overall problem. This is really going back to the Bowlby effect of having conflicting goals in the supply chain. You have everybody along the line, they all have their goals. They all want to sit down there, make certain they reduce their inventory. They all want to make a profit. And if somebody else along the supply chains is making a bigger portion than is normal customary, then all of a sudden their antenna goes up and they want a piece of that action too. You can't blame anybody wanting to make more money in the process. So that being said, what kind of goals do you have, and what kind of conflicts do you have? Well, the lot size inventory trade-off is the big thing. How big the lots? Ideally, you never want to have a split truckload. You want to sit down and fill an entire semi, so the semi has a one-stop. Boom! Here's the distributor, shows up at the retail, unload the whole truck. And you want to have the whole truck unloaded. It goes on some shelves inside the store. It goes on some of the retail shelves inside the store. Everybody's happy. Everybody's making massive amounts of money. But the reality is sometimes you don't need a whole semi truck full of the goods that you're getting. As a matter of fact, most of the time you really don't. So you send it to a distribution center. Distribution center, okay, here we go, sort it out. So you put it on 17 different shelves in the retail stores. They have their little baby trucks come out, and you have the whole thing going right across. So the lot size is the big thing. The inventory, the transportation cost trade-off, the lead time, you have a transportation cost. You really have the product variety. People want variety, they don't want exactly the same thing. Go check out a retail store. How many, go down the toothpaste aisle and count the number of brands on the toothpaste aisle. Did you know the average store has 27 different brands? I'm not talking 4 or 5 different versions of Colgate or Crest. I'm talking about 27 different brands of toothpaste. We're so linear, we only go to find that brand right there, and that's our toothpaste. We don't even look to pay attention. That whole thing of the product variety is really the spice of life in American retail. The cost. Some people are willing to pay top dollar for the brand name that they have come to love and admire, and they don't care about the cost overall because they know what they're getting and they feel sold in that. Here are your 5 different aspects as to really the conflicting goals that you have to put up with. The lot size is a big thing. Manufacturers, they want to have large lot sizes. Really, the retailer, they probably want the small lot sizes. It just depends what you're looking at. Your work in progress, you want to have all those different aspects over here. So you look at the lot size and the inventory trade-off. The retail distributors, they want short delivery lead times and wide product variety because they want to make certain that customers have what they want and they constantly have a good turnover on the shelves for the final customer. Distributors, retailers, they want to make certain that factory status and everything else is fine. And they want to make certain that things roll off that assembly line, then boom, it goes right to one source and they can possibly do that. They really have conflicting goals. Trucks, they cost money. That giant monster rig over there that's pulling the trailer along, the driver's got to make money. Whoever owns a trailer wants to make money. Everybody is out there. And if the truck's always full, when it makes a delivery, the cost of operating can be spread out over a large number of items and the yield the lowest per unit cost per item. Okay, that works in everybody's favor because that is expensive. It's transportation costs of both a time as well as materials, as well as the vehicle costs and just the general expense overall. So if you have deliveries, equal demand, you got full truckloads. Demand is typically not a full truckload. You really have partial loads, and partial loads cost more money because a truck has to make multiple stops. Few things drive an inner city truck driver when you got to make 7 to 12 stops. They hate it, and it's a slow process. The probability of getting hurt in the process, of having delivery without a forklift at one place, without a loading dock in another place, all that is really difficult. You can't eliminate it completely, but you can reduce it overall if you do some good planning with the right type of truck. The lead time is made up of the time devoted to processing the orders. You want to procure the manufacturer items and also that transportation cost. You want to make certain they're lowest when the items are being transported and reduce the overall lead time. Therefore, you have a couple things. The trade-off time between transportation costs and the lead time, they're almost between the two of them. You have to deal with the differentiation between them. You can't completely eliminate this trade-off. It's there. So it depends where they're at. It's nice to sit down and drive down the road and you see your brand in one semi-trailer, but will that semi-trailer go to one location or go to multiple locations? And if so, it's going to cost you more money. If it's multiple, you'll save money if it just goes to one. If you go to one, can you efficiently sit down there and distribute that to the multiple locations that you wanted to go to and still have a reduced cost if you possibly can? Longer lead times, the better planning you have, the better off you're going to be. Can you sit down and have a larger base stock and maybe even have a good safety stock on it as you go in the process? Product inventory, you have to really a lot of trade-offs. There's a lot of balancing because you have to compete. On top of that, you may have an expiration date to deal with. You have the customer, they get something, even something simple as a can, it'll say, the month and the year, okay, that is going to be good too. And literally, if it's going to be the next month, or if it's a matter of 5 months, they may actually sort through looking for a can that is more current. So all of a sudden it messes up the retailer shelf. So you got all kinds of different things with the consumer on top of that, but we're all looking to make certain that you have some good, solid uh, cost efficiencies with long lead times, with full shelves continually, making certain the consumer has it right in front of them. So you want to pretty much have risk pooling as much as much as you can to make certain that that the base stock is there for the retailer, as well as a good safety stock, and reduce the overall variability to avoid that bullwhip effect. You want to have empty shelves. I don't know about you. During the pandemic, I walked into a couple stores and you could see massive shelf space that was wide open. I kind of went, ah, it was terrifying a little bit because you hear about the stories like that in foreign countries, but here in America, we're so used to having everything right at our fingertips that we become a little bit arrogant in the aspect that our supply chain is wonderful and we're great people and we have lots of money. And no, we didn't. It wasn't a matter of money, and it was a matter of you had stuff sitting in stores and you had stuff sitting at the factory. And by the time it was all done, when the store sold out, they couldn't get it from the factory to the store, even though it was sitting in the warehouses, even though it was sitting in the factory. We broke down the supply chain because we relied so much on just-in-time inventory. So pay attention to the aspect as to how you can sit down and trade all these different aspects. Direct shipping from warehouses right to the home is a way to achieve this. There's different ways of doing that. You have different aspects. And so what freight carrier are you using? Are you going to use UPS, Yellow Freight, or whatever to sit down there and just drop this off to this off to this off to this off? Because they're used to doing that last mile, which is always the toughest part of the whole thing. The advanced supply chain management techniques, okay, you can give customers the kind of service they've never realized before if you sit down and do mass customization, which is becoming more common and will as we adapt to more robots and AI in the manufacturing process. Obtaining this information, it's not free. It costs money and will be seen a major displacement of different aspects of it. But every business knows the value of global optimization with cheap labor costs in lower economic countries. You take advantage of that, but the more you do, the further out that supply chain is geographically, you end up having the cost increase than the transportation costs. So you're going to have a decreasing marginal value of the information itself. More detailed information, it's often more costly. Therefore, you're going to have a lot of issues on the cost. Really, this comes back to that very first slide. The main conflict in the supply chain: lot size, inventory, lead time, product variety, and cost. All those things are a big thing. And at the end, you look on the customer service, are you hitting 97%, 95, 92? Sometimes you can hit 100. But that said, all this comes down to how responsive is your company going to be in your supply chain to the end user called the consumer. Take care.